Thank you guys for showing up today, and thank you for waiting for me. Apologize. I did live with plenty of time, but that's in my control. But thank you for waiting around. The Blissful Flow on Wednesday has amped up a little bit from when I typically do a regular Blissful Flow. I do change it up every Wednesday, even though we're going to do certain staple things every Wednesday. So we'll do sun salutations to warm up. We'll move into standing postures after that. We'll move into some sitting postures and end with some inversions. Before we get rolling into the flow, I wanted to mention that yesterday was a really big day. It was the Jupiter and Neptune conjunction. If you follow astrology at all the astrologers have been talking not only about the Pluto transit back in the natal chart that happens 3 times this year, but they're also talking a lot about this particular conjunction. This is because this particular conjunction that happened yesterday only happens like 166 years. So it's not even once in a lifetime, but we're getting it in our lifetime. So it's a very rare event. It depends on how far away the planets are with obviously how long it takes to rotate around the sun. And each of the planets have to go through each of the 12 zodiac signs. Right now that conjunction is in Pisces, and Pisces is water. We've had water for like the last 2 days as well. But Pisces is a watery sign. Its depiction is the fish. So we're gonna definitely be doing fish pose today. But this year in general, there's supposed to be a lot of the water element. If you looked at just the numerology for this year, if you looked at the Chinese zodiac for this year with the water tiger, if you looked at the astrology, it was saying at the beginning of the year, there's going to be a lot of water this year. So the last time it happened was in 1856. There were several things happening in 1856 that I just wanted to share. Neptune is named after, I don't remember if it was Greek or Roman, you guys can help me with that, but it was like the Lord of the Sea or the God of the Sea, kind of like Vishnu. What was that?
I'm pretty sure Neptune is Roman.
Roman, I think it is too.
Yes.
Because I think there's a big statue of him in Virginia on the beach.
The opposite of Neptune is the other god of water.
The other one of water?
Yeah.
I know
his name
Vishnu is
Greece.
in Hinduism.
He's got a different name in Greece.
I forgot his name too, but I know you're talking about
Poseidon.
Yes, that's right. So it's Neptune, it is Roman. Anyway, so already, again, that's water. Both of those planets are rulers of Pisces. You know, each sign has a planet, like Aries is Mars. With Pisces, it's actually both of these planets. Jupiter is about expanding things, making things enlarge or get emphasized. And within Pisces, it's spirituality, it's creativity. There's a lot of other things too, but those are 2 big ones. So in 1856, the last time this happened, there was a lot more water. So there was the floods of Europe that happened in 1856. It was also a big moment for spirituality. There was this undercurrent of spirituality that came into the forefront. And with photography, photography went from black and white film to color film. So the astrologers are saying this is a big thing because Neptune is also about lies and deceit. So Jupiter will be expanding that. It's also hypnosis and psychosis. So I've heard astrologers say different things. We could look at it as, oh, it's just going to enlarge in the psychosis. It's going to, you know, make the floodwaters greater. Or you could look at it from a positive side, which is how I want to look at it. No, Jupiter is going to expand and expose a lot of the lies and the deceits that have happened in our world. And it's going to expand the arts and spiritual practices. So I'm choosing to look at it from the positive side. But there are going to be a couple more of these conjunctions this year. So when it happens, and it happened yesterday to be exact, doesn't mean the event has to happen yesterday. It just means it's ushering in that energy at that time, and it's going to follow us, and it's going to be supportive for whatever it's meant to kind of create. So with that in mind, we're gonna bring a little bit of a watery element into the practice today with wavelets. So if you can, sit on your knees. And your thumbs are gonna come to the crease of your hips. And as you inhale, you're gonna roll the shoulders back and jut your chin skyward. And then as you exhale, you're gonna lower down onto your lap and then pour the head towards the floor, but we're coming back up. So as you inhale, pull the navel in, round the back, let your head stay tucked towards your chest and bring it up. And then exhale, roll it down. Squeeze the navel in, roll it up. And then exhale, take it down. And this time when the head spills to the floor, allow the hands to drop alongside your feet. Let the shoulders drip down over your knees and just take pause. We often mention the watery element correlating back to the second chakra. Each of the chakras or main energy channels in the body go back to an element. This is about fluidity, being able to adapt to change. It's about cleansing and purification because water can have that effect. So you could also look at this conjunction as being a way for cleansing and purifying everything that we've been through in the last couple of years. Processing and being able to heal from all of these impacts. On your next inhalation, go ahead and stretch your arms forward and out, or rock up to hands and knees. Exhale, take downward facing dog. Once you move into downward facing dog, pressing into the palms, hiking through your hips, let your head go. Gaze in the direction of the feet, the Padyoga Drishti. Create any movement that may wake up the legs more if it feels needed. And then go ahead and travel the feet forward to the top of the mat and just drop down, folding in half. And then on your next in-breath, go ahead and explode all the way up, lifting your arms up overhead to upward worship. Gathering all the positive energy you need and feel as though you're bringing it right down, home sweet home to your heart. Pause here for a moment, close the eyes, and really feel the contact of the sticky mat beneath your feet. Begin to activate your Ujjayi pranayama, where you're slightly constricting the back of the throat, making the breath audible for yourself to hear. Create a rhythmic pattern with this breath and try to smooth out any of the rough edges. Stay committed to your breath as we flow and move the body. Opening up the eyes. Inhale, come to Urdhva Hastasana. Arms framing the face. As you exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Folding down to your Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lean, then out halfway. And as you exhale, you're planting your hands, stepping back to plank, and immediately dropping low to your Chaturanga Dandasana. As you inhale, reach up with the crown of your head and your heart. And as you exhale, roll back over your toes to downward facing dog. When I was first starting yoga 20 years ago, 22 years ago actually, you would always hear at that time this phrase of downward facing dog being like an oil change for the body. And then a little bit later, we often talked about inversions being a way to help to reboot the mind. So even with those two concepts, just think about what it's doing for the mind and the body. But your breath is what really allows the magic to come in. So breathe well. Follow your next inhalation to the top of the mat to Ardha Uttanasana.
And then exhale, roll down to Uttanasana. Inhale, feet are firmly planted as you rise to Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale to Samasthiti. We're gonna do 2 more A's. Inhaling up, expanding, and then exhale, folding. Inhale, uplift halfway. Exhale, drop and hover if you have the strength. Remember, you can always lower your knees. Inhale to upward facing dog. You can always modify with a smaller back bend. And as you exhale, rock and roll back over the feet to downward facing dog. Let this replenish the skin of the face. Allow this position to help you to gain a new, fresh perspective. Yourself, your life, happenings. Stay immersed with your breath. On your next in-breath, Ardha Uttanasana at the top of the mat. And then exhale, lower in, belly, chest, and face. Inhale all the way up to stand tall. And exhale, hands to the heart. Recenter. 1 more A. Inhale, expand open. Exhale, fold into self. Inhale, open and shine the heart. Exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. Feel free to pass through plank. You do not have to bounce back. Opening the heart on the inhale and rolling back on the exhale. So make sure you're cinching in through your low ribs, your waist, your belly, so that you're not apt to go to the back. Engage with your breath. Let it be your greatest support. Inhale, coming to the top of the mat. You can walk, you can lunge, you can float. And then exhale, bow out. Inhale to the top. Exhale, Samasthiti. We're just gonna do 3 B's today. Inhale, we're taking Utkatasana. Sit back with your hips elongate up to your side body. Exhale, dive over straight legs. As if you're plummeting into water. Inhale, come up for air. Exhale, take it to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, coming up to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Here we step the right foot forward. Drop the back heel, coming to warrior 1. Solidify both feet, roll open through the front thigh. Spin your back hip forward, that left hip is turning, arms rising. Exhale, hands down, and go back into the flow. Once in down dog, inhale, left foot steps through, back heel drops down, coming up Virabhadrasana 1. Spine elongated over the pelvis, chin parallel to the earth, looking straight ahead with your eyes. Exhale, hands down. Stepping back, dropping low, building up, rolling back. Now in the V Sun salutation, we pause in the 3rd down dog to breathe. And this is where if we lost our breath, we can recalibrate, we can recommit, we can reclaim. The breath is what brings the spirit into the practice to help it to go beyond just a mind-body exercise. Inhale, feet plant at the top of the mat, however you want to arrive is fine. Exhale, drop in. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. 2 more just like that. Inhale, take your chair. Exhale, dive over straight legs. Tipping weight towards the toes. Inhale, uplift. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. You can step through or bounce back. The right foot steps through for warrior 1. You're not going as fast as true Ashtanga. Holding, breathing, feeling, aligning. And then we drop back into the flow. Left foot next. Virabhadrasana 1. Feel as though you're pulling the energy up from the earth through your body. At the same time, you're allowing yourself to receive the gifts and the blessings from the heavens above. Exhale, hands down. Final vinyasa for this sunsound, which means we'll hold and breathe in downward facing dog. Make sure you're opening the underside of the belly. Sailing your seat as high as possible. In a calm frame of mind with the power of the breath. Inhale, stepping to the front. Exhale, lowering knee. Inhale to Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, just one more of these. Inhale to chair. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, be expressive. Exhale, find your strength. Inhale, gain some flexibility. Exhale, find that blend. Right foot steps through, back to lowers. Coming up, nice and strong, nice and stable. Exhale, release. Working back into the flow. Utilizing your breath to transition. Then left foot steps through. Back heel settles. Come up when your foundation is set. Build up from the foundation to the fingertips. Exhale, release. Flow through this final vinyasa. Pausing in the inversion. Gazing towards the feet at the Padyogra Drishti. Feeding yourself this vital life force energy through the breath. Inhale, feet plant at the top. Exhale, close into self. Inhale, chair. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, we're gonna step the feet apart. And we're gonna actually stand on the hands. So shoulders back, belly hugs in, and fold. After you fold, you're gonna flip your palms open and establish them right underneath your feet. Let the toes come to the crease of your wrist. Rock your hips and weight forward so that you have the weight bearing on the back of your hands. It's a great counter pose after all those chaturangas. It's okay if the knees have to bend to get there. Just pick up your seat, regardless if legs are straight or bent. Pada means foot, hasta means hand, foot over hand pose. Now, release the hands one at a time, bring them back to your waistline. Come up to stand. All right, this is where we're gonna step off to the right. You can face this way if you need to. Poor Heather's always in the lead. So your feet are parallel and really push them down into the floor. So I'm looking at some of your feet are turning out. So make sure your toes are pointed the same direction. Yeah, that's better. All right, we're gonna rotate the right foot 90 degrees towards the back wall. Open out your arms over the legs, reach out over to the right side, windmill the right hand to the shin, left arm skyward, triangle. Think about backing up your heart a little bit. Stacking through your shoulders, creating space in between your ribs. Let the lines be long and linear. Earlier this week, we focused on sacred geometry and the circle and what the circle means. The triangle can represent 3 different aspects, maybe mind, body, spirit. Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu. Inhale, gently draw up. Turn your right foot in. Rotate your left foot out. Good, lengthen out over this side. When you're ready, stack the hand to the shin or in front of the shin if you want it the Iyengar way. The blocks are also available if you'd like to prop the hand there. Roll open through your belly and chest. Equally grounding down to the feet and uplifting through the knees. Trikonasana. One more breath. Inhale, draw up with your right hand. Let the arms go for a moment. Turn your left foot back in. Rotate your right foot all the way out. Good, lunge the right knee, stack it with precision over the ankle. Drop thoroughly through that right thigh. Stack onto the knee with the right elbow. Carry the left arm overhead, or you can angle it alongside your face. You can do either or. See what's better for your shoulder. Glue your back foot down. Push back through your left thigh bone. Form that relationship with your breath. Maybe even affirming mentally within, I am a fountain of boundless energy and power. We don't give ourselves enough credit. Inhale, gently come up. Right foot turns in. Left foot rotates out. When you're ready, lunge that knee. If it cranks past your ankle, it may be that you can slide your feet a little wider apart. Once you have the foundation, prop onto the knee, right arm can soar overhead or out beside your ear. You can rinse the shoulder if you take it across the face by rolling the pinky down, thumb up. Don't lose your footing. This pose depends on it. One more deep breath and affirming inside, I am a fountain of boundless energy and power. Inhale, draw it up. Relax your arms. Turn your left foot in. Rotate your right foot again towards the back wall. We're going to spin off the back heel, crank the left elbow to the outer portion of the right knee, glue the palms together, and take revolving side angle. Dial your heart towards your thumbs. Dial the navel towards the top of the thigh. And breathe. We're skipping reverse triangle today. Exhale, unwind, plant the back heel to safely come up first. Rotate the right foot in, the left foot out. Now, when you start to lunge the left knee, you can go ahead and pick up your back heel and you can twist and rotate around to the left. Right elbow propping to the outer portion of that front knee. The breath is purifying. Twist or cleansing. And that represents the power of water. Unwind from the twist. Let's bring the hands down and we'll turn the feet to face the same direction again, but we're gonna lower the head towards the floor. Don't worry if it touches or not, that's not the point. Pressurize the feet, lift through the quads. Stretch out the hamstrings, decompress the low back. Focus a little bit more on your exhalation. On your next inhale, walk your hands forward. Lengthen out through the vertebrae. Don't bring stop on the fingers if your palms can't be flat. Just even out that blood flow for a moment. Head even or level to the heart. Hands under the shoulders, torso parallel to the floor. And then from here, lifting your hands up. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing, just look at me for a moment because you're gonna be turning to face the back wall in just a second. We're gonna be offsetting the back foot, we'll be facing the back wall. And then what we're gonna do is fold forward into our pyramid. If your hands can rest on blocks or the mat, what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be inhale, rippling up. And exhale, rippling down. So just like little wavelets through the spine. I don't know if you can see that, if I was making it very clear, but hopefully you can see. All right, feet separate. Right foot to the back wall. Left foot offsets. Square the hips. Lift your chest. Good, exhale, fold over the front leg. Determine here. Hands to the floor or hands to blocks. And if you don't want to do the wavelets, you can just pause and be in stillness instead, like in a static pose. Let's just be here first for a few rounds of breath. This intense side stretch pose. And then we'll add in the wavelets through the vertebrae. So if you can, draw in through the navel, into the heart, and out to the crown of your head. And as you exhale, spill down to your belly first, chest second, baseline. Do two more. Bringing a taste of that fluidity into the practice today. And then hands back to the waist. Drill those feet down and slowly come up. Good, pivot the feet to face the front of the room. Left foot turns, that right foot offsets and turns. That way, the right hip can rotate around and you're more even through the sacrum. Shoulders back, exhale, hinge forward. Right hip still rolling toward that left foot. Left hip is sliding back. Hands to block to the floor as you bow. And again, if you need it to be more static, you don't have to do the wavelets. So tune in and check with yourself. Use that layer of discernment that we talked about with the coaches. All right, when you're ready, inhale, roll it up. Exhale, wave it down. Inhale, roll it up. Exhale, spin it. Last one. Bring your hands to your hips. Locking those legs and slowly rise through the back of the heart. Since we're already facing the front, let's just step it forward. All right, and this is where in the Ashtanga practice they usually do more balancing poses. I'm gonna give you a choice today. We're just gonna do one balancing pose. You could do the tree, or you could do the half lotus in tree. Pick your favorite, or when you feel called to. Concentrate your eyes. Slip the foot down. Equalize your weight on both feet. Bring your hands to prayer position at your heart. Close your eyes. Imagine you're still striking that pose. Affirming mentally within, I am calm, I am poised. Calm and poised. And so I want you to bring that affirmation with you when you shift your weight to the right side as you turn open from the left hip for Vrikshasana tree, or choosing your half lotus. Calm and poised. And then release. Hands back to prayer position at the heart. We're going to do one more flow before we bring it to the floor. So as you inhale, let the arms reach up. And on the exhale, dive in. Inhale, sprout up. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. All right, so now Cindy gets to be the leader of the pack. All right, we're gonna step the right foot forward, ground the back heel, just to float the hands up. Your right foot turns in, your left foot turns to the back wall. You're taking Virabhadrasana 2. Once you take Warrior 2, you're gonna start waving the arms, rippling from the shoulders to the elbows to the wrists. You can even slide your torso left to right. Doesn't have to be perfect, since we're bringing fluidity into the upper body, stability into the lower body. All right, strike Warrior 2 the regular way, arms extended, straighten your left leg, turn the left foot in, rotate the right foot to the front, lunge the knee, and then we get to wave the arms. Just bring out your inner break dancer. Your inner belly dancer. They can be small, they can be medium, they can be quite large. The smaller they are, the more you work your muscles. If you want to play with that, it can get tiring actually. All right, re-extend the arms. Exhale, helicopter down. Right foot plank. Taking one more of these vinyasas. Because then we're going to bring it down to the floor. All right, so we're changing up the formula a little bit here. We're going to lower the right knee down. And then we're going to pick up the left foot, scoot it around in front. And then slowly test the waters with your knee, with your quads, with your ankle, and see if you can sit down. This is where, if you feel like, oh my God, I'm flopping over to the left side, this is where you could bring in a block to sit on, or a blanket to tuck underneath just that one side of your seat. If you're sitting on a block, you can just sit right on top of it. Blanket's a little different. How is it? Okay, inhale, arms lift. Exhale, flex that left foot as you hinge and fold. So with this conjunction, it's the ending of a 12-year cycle. If you want to look at it as a 166-year cycle, since it's been through all the zodiac signs, it's soon going to be entering into Aries. So this is about some endings. You may feel like this is a year, this is a month, or this is a week where you need to release and let some things go. And it could have been something you've worked the last 12 years at. And then embarking into something new or new territory somehow. That may be in your psyche. That may be with your emotional body. That may be with your career. It may be with relationships, depending on where it shows up in your personal natal chart. Inhale slowly. When you come up, if in fact you're sitting on something, remove it, because now we're going to bring the right foot to the inner part of that straight leg. Jani Shasana. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, start to lower out over the straight leg. So see if you can spin your belly button towards the left thigh. Maintaining the head of the knees, so it's facing the ceiling, just like the toes are facing up to the ceiling. Breathe. A lot of the astrologers are saying all of us are going to have major shifts and changes by the end of the month. So keep envisioning the world you want to live in. Keep envisioning what you want to manifest. That way you're co-participating and being a co-creator. If we're locked in fear, we won't have the good, peaceful, happy vibes showing up. It takes each of us in getting into that higher frequency to create that positive change. Inhale, let's slowly come up. We're going to slide the left foot back. And then this right foot, we're going to tuck behind the ankle. Yeah. And sometimes you can do half loads with this, but I'm just choosing not to today. So this is the way we're gonna do it. The left arm's gonna reach forward. Yep. And then you're gonna turn the thumb down and around to wind the arm in front of your shin. Hand comes towards the outside of that thigh or hip. Now reach the right arm out in front of you. This is one of those pretzel poses. Circle that right arm behind your back. You might be able to catch the fingers on the other hand. Don't worry if you can't. And then you just bow your head down. That left arm that's binding around the left leg, you are trying to hug it in. So you're gripping that leg and squeezing it closer to your body. And on your next inhale, again, it's okay if the hands meet or not, but keep your arms behind your back. Slowly sit down on that left sit bone, lift your chest, lift your head up, and then you're gonna turn to gaze over the right shoulder. Nice. Oh, how cool. You guys look so cool. This is a pose I don't see very often, except Ashtanga format. Good, now gently unwind from that twist and remove your hands. Crisscross the ankles, shift forward to your palms, step back, downward facing dog. We're gonna do that same sequence. We're gonna bring the left knee down first, and the right leg will then scoot out in front. And we'll test the waters on this side, because you never know day to day. Just never know. So stay in that curious beginner mindset. If you feel like you're too tipsy on the right side, maybe a blanket just underneath, maybe a block underneath. I'm just gonna demo with the block today, because it feels good today. Flex your right foot, inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, hinge down. Just remember to maintain your own state of honesty and integrity as you approach each of these poses, especially the ones that may be a little awkward or unfamiliar. That's one of the main principles of yoga. Forward folds are about letting go and releasing. One thing I had to let go of recently was wanting to be so informed about my sister's cancer. You know, we're miles apart. And even though we've always had a pretty close relationship, she's very withdrawn and kind of keeping to herself right now. Not really sharing a ton of information and not really wanting to hear a lot from others. And I just had to accept that, and pull back a little bit and just give her space. Think about something you're having to let go of. Okay, let's slowly come up, remove that block. You were on it. Lean to the right hip. So you can free up the left foot for Janu Shirshasana. Arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Turn that navel over towards the straight leg. You'll feel that little twisting element. That we bring into the core. Oh wow, I didn't know this was on circle. Cool. Inhale, slowly start to come up. Slide your right foot in. Left foot's gonna tuck underneath that ankle. Right arm's gonna reach ahead into the inside of the knee. And then it's like someone's twisting your arm around and around and around. Create that bind. Then left arm reaches ahead and then wraps behind that. And then basically just bow over, just feeling the head down. And at the same time, squeezing the right thigh towards you. And just slowly lift up. Return to the right side of your seat. Slowly lift the head and heart. And then turn the neck and gaze over the left shoulder. You're not going to be sitting completely upright. You're slightly kind of leaning out. And then exhale, release. Good, once you release, lift that other knee. Bring the hands down, step back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. I do want us to work into pigeon today since we are working with that element of water with our theme. So bring your left shin and knee just behind your hands. And then we're gonna do the wavelets up and down before we stay. Okay, so on the fingertips, lifting the chest, make sure your knees kind of angle to the side. And then we're gonna roll it down. Inhale, pull it up. Exhale, weight it down. Last one. This time, if you need to land on your forearms, or if you need a headrest, or if you just want to spill down the brow, you can. Soften the muscles of the face and relax your jaw. Submit to gravity. Let this stretch help to break you through any barriers, any obstacles, so that you can look at those obstacles as being opportunities for growth. We can always take things either literally or figuratively or metaphorically. Let's transition to the other side. Lifting up, energetically planting the palms, curling the back toes, transition through downward facing dog. And then allow that right hand shin to come forward. Obviously, you can always go to your back and take the alternative for this. You're resting on the finger pads, and then you're gonna exhale, roll down. Inhale, pull the navel in, and let your head come up flat. And exhale, weight down. Inhale, ripple up. This time, once you ripple back down, you can find your edge where you would like to hold and remain. Because this was interesting, and I'm not taking credit for this. I was listening to an astrologer talking about this particular conjunction, and she said, you know, it can be looked at in a couple different ways. She didn't call it literal or metaphorical, but that's basically what it is. So sea levels have the potential to be rising right now. There are huge masses of ice that have dislodged from Antarctica and are going into the sea. So it could be, yes, that ice has to melt within the sea, making the sea levels rise. But it could also be gaining some new perception and a new perspective. Because if you've ever been snorkeling, you know that being over the land, over the water, you see certain things. But then you take the boat out into the depth of the ocean, you put on your snorkeling gear, and then you dip down below the water, and it's a whole different reality. Different life, different colors, different dimension. So move down into the depths within yourself. Notice what you find. on this inner quest as you slowly rise. Lean to your right hip, bring the left foot around to join your right, Baddha Konasana, and fold down into Baddha Konasana. So your feet are somewhat close to the body. If you ever feel an impingement where your thighs meet your hips, just slide your feet on out, away from you, and it should help take that away. This brings a lot of good circulation to the reproductive organs, to the bladder, to the urinary tract. So anytime you may potentially have like a bladder infection, urinary tract infection, yeast infection, remember this can be medicinal. This is even medicinal for fertility, post and prenatal. Inhale, slowly come up. Use your hands to lift the knees, slide your feet out in front of you. All right, so at the end of the Ashtanga series, there's all these different inversions. What we're gonna do today is plow and roll down to fish, okay? So plow looks like this, but you don't have to touch the floor. You know, you can be like this. If you know, oof, I don't know if I can handle that much traction in my neck, or maybe I shouldn't be in that pose, then just do this, a simple variation, just legs up over the hips. And then once we come down, we're gonna stack the hands under the body, elbows clipped close to the ribs, to point the toes, to use the forearms to lift the chest, and then take the head back for fish. So let's try that. So as you inhale, see if you can roll back to your variation of plow, or maybe you need to be more modified today. Remember, you want to keep your head as stable as possible, so don't turn to look at anyone next to you. Gaze directly towards your own body. This is because we have a lot of nerves coming down to the back of the neck. And think about how small the neck is in comparison to other places in the body, and it's helping to support your weight here. Really, the brunt of the weight should be in the upper back, but you may feel it in the neck too. Taking at least 5 to 7 breaths. When you're ready to roll down, scoop in through your belly. Take the hands to the floor. Roll it down one vertebra at a time. And when your sacrum lands, you can lower the legs all the way. Once your heels tap down, the hands are going to go underneath the body. We all have different arm lengths and torso lengths, so it could be under your buttocks, it may be more under your thighs. When you're ready, point the toes, activate those shins, push down through the elbows, lift up high through your chest, and then slowly let your head fall back. Now you're not putting a lot of weight on the head, it's just barely resting, because the weight is in your heels, your seat, your arms. Take a nice deep breath. Affirming my soul floats on waves of cosmic light. And when you're ready, gently roll it down, lifting your head first. And then close your knees with your arms, hug them in. I wanted us to do headstand, but we're kind of losing time. And I know that if you really want to do your headstand, you can do it. I know Cindy's going to go for it. If you're like, I'm good with that last inversion, thank you. Then go ahead and prepare for your Shavasana. Overhead lights. If you're close to a wall, maybe you want legs up the wall today, totally fine. We have these props available, so if you wanted to use your blocks as a back bend, or if you wanted to just be in corpse pose with the bolster slid under your knees, that's always lovely. I'll let you choose your final resting pose. I'm going to change out the music while you're getting settled. Let your body take rest. It has supplied so much movement already in this hour. Give yourself props for showing up today. To rinse out any stress, tension, anxiety away. Letting out the old so the new can enter. Notice the state of your mind. It's more calm, clear, less foggy, dense, or confused. Hopefully sensing a lightness and a sense of freedom to your inner spirit after being expressive, after being immersed with your breath, reconnecting all of these pieces back together. The ending is a time for assimilating benefits, let your body's natural intelligence integrate all of this into your system. All you have to do is just be. Just be.
reacquainted to your breath. At first, just watching. Begin to magnify. Begin to operate your hands and feet. Feel free if you're flat on your back to hug the knees in. Roll away to your favorite side. Reform a seat. Sitting upright. Eyes closed. Just checking in to see how you feel from the inside out. And this practice really can be alchemaic. Sometimes it just takes one practice, but it really is cumulative. Then we keep up the practice. There are innumerable ways to evolve. Let's close our practice by bringing the palms together to Anjali Mudra, prayer position at the heart. The light and the love that I hold within my heart bows humbly and respectfully to the love and the light you hold within yours. Namaste.
Thank you guys so much for being here.